Hey everybody, One of Wisdom here. It is Monday, November 4th, 2013, about kickoff time for the Bears and Packers, I believe. I've got dinner in the oven, so I'm trying to get this taken care of. Yesterday, Sunday, November 3rd, that was a big day at Toys R Us. That, of course, is when legendary Zulu came out. Again, if you missed the Wish Finder and some other recent videos, third, i.e. yesterday, we had legendary Zulu. Next Sunday, we actually have legendary Night Shift. That should be pretty cool. Hopefully, it'll be handled a similar fashion in terms of the stock delivered to the stores. Have not had anyone complain to me yet about their local Toys R Us, not having the characters come or just like 6 or something crazy. So hopefully that holds true for him. 17th, they're advertising an exclusive Dino Ring. Again, I covered that in detail. All I know is in the Wish Finder book, he doesn't look to be holding the gold boomerang. If it's glow in the dark, if it's a misprint, I don't know. Basically, we're going to have to wait for more details there. The good news, legendary Zulu should be available still at your local store. I picked mine up today. I had a dental thing going on and just didn't really feel like going yesterday dealing with weekend crowds. It was bad enough today, so I'm sure yesterday would have been a nightmare. You know, anyway, my store still today. I got in there around lunchtime, right after the appointments. Quite a few were around. They probably had some in the back based on the stock. So far, pretty much still has great stock on everything minus the Wave 2 Swap Force, swappers, if you will. That being Drilla Drilla 1, Boom Jet, Firecrack, and Night Shift. So those four really about the only thing right now that's kind of harder to come by. Let's see here. Guess we're ready to just go ahead and tear into this guy. The Legendary Zulu, $10.99 is your retail price. The thing I was trying to get to, and I just remembered, 40% off. Buy one, get one 40% off. It's actually gone on back-to-back weeks now. We've had it pretty much every week, but I believe the second week since the game came out on Sunday, October 13th. So pretty cool setup there. This is what you're going to look for. Legendary Zulu, you get this idea, you feel for the concept. Blue and gold once again. Printed Toys R Us on the packaging. It's not a sticker or anything. Character, of course. That's what you get. Again, I say it every time. Some people love the legendary look. Some don't. Me personally, I take it character by character. This actually doesn't look horrible. It's just his regular pose looks really good with the white and green. I'm probably going to have to put this one behind that. And again, I'm not personally a fan of gold. Looks awesome on some characters. Legendary Bouncer back there really wears the colors well. Legendary Igniter's another example. A horrible example is Legendary Slam Bam. Again, I feel like that's in part because his standard Series 2 pose was so awesome, and the standard colorings. That said, the main thing with the Legendaries, they're special. You get a stat boost. I noticed this in the, I think, Wish Finder and maybe on the website. I can't remember where I saw it. But with Zulu, he summons basically the jade animals, a wolf and the birds, etc. And they come out of, the little staff, and they're like green. I mentioned that they were blue here. We've seen the legendaries sometimes. It's kind of been sporadic, but they've sometimes had, like slightly different color alterations done. Not only to the character in-game, which will appear different, but also to some of their powers. I'm going to be interested in seeing if that's actually the case here with Zulu. The figure, again, I always feel like when I don't like them that the blue is just way too dark. If you actually look at the box art, it doesn't seem to be that dark of a blue. Looks way better in my opinion than the figure. That said, the problem I have, that's a really, really nice figure. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at him here again. Life Element, Swap Force Newlander, i.e. this is the first time he's been available. In Swap Force. Nature Calls is his slogan. You kind of get a feel there for the packaging. We'll flip it over here. There's Countdown featured just like on Zulu's boxes, I believe. Legendary Zulu, that screen cap there in the game, looks just like the figure. It's a very, it's almost more black than blue. I could say blue and people would say, no, that's black, you nut. If you look at the figure, again, yeah, a lot of people could very well argue that that's black. But yet, if you look at the box art, everyone would agree that that's a blue. It's a darker blue, but it is blue. He's actually not that bad. It may even change when we get him out, but it's just, like I said, that regular pose is just really nice. Other featured characters, Lightcore Starstrike, Lava Barf Eruptor, Bumble Blast, that is his fellow Newlander from the Life Element, if you will. And then Slobbertooth. Won't work at all in SSA or Giant since he's truly, this is the first time we've seen him in Swap Force. That's where I apply Newlander. And of course he will work in the Skylander Swap Force. If not, I don't know what we would be doing here. Since I'm sure people will ask while I cut, if you don't follow along on Twitter, I do know about the Frito-Lay promotion with Rattleshake. I found those bags. There's a reason I haven't made a video. I keep the channel kid-friendly. I don't really cuss, never really have the need to. This is one of those times. It would be very easy for something to slip out of my mouth. It's pretty much the most ill-sighted, least researched, idiotic thing I could think of someone to do for a promotion. And that's putting it mildly and in a brief synopsis for you. Interesting thing here, and I'm actually a big fan of this. Collectors will be too if some of you actually open the figures to use them and then put them back in. I don't know what you do, but the big thing, this was not taped, the little label here, so you don't have to worry about tearing it. Again, if for some reason yours is taped and you put them back in the packaging, go ahead and cut the Scotch tape. That way you won't bend that up. There's what you're going to see if you care about the packaging. Again, $10.99 was the price. There was plenty of stock at my store, and I actually went in today, not yesterday. So this one broke down real easy. I'm going to go ahead and get him freed up. Again, I always like to go by the base. He's one of the heavier characters. I don't know if anyone cares or anyone else pays attention to that, but just something I take note of there. This part's the tricky part. You want to try and do this without dementing anything. And we will slide that out. We are home free. Thank you, Zulu, for being easy to unbox. Should have grabbed his card for you. Let me see. I can find it because it's somewhere in here. It's just a question of where. He would have been one of the first ones we did that was non-swap force. Somewhere. Oh, you're kidding me. I do have another stack over here. Maybe it's in this one. I was trying to get this cranked out literally while dinner's in the oven, and so I can go see the Bears and Packers, so my apologies on that. Lots of cards, though, and that's not even the trading cards. By the way, when I unboxed that Topps collector card starter set, and I said, I bet there's another one with a different character, the one I got had Legendary Zulu. Sounds like it just got really windy. That's what you saw. That was like that special bonus pack, fittingly Legendary Zulu. This ties in nicely with the video for the delay. But I did check today when I grabbed Legendary Zulu, and they did have another album, and it had Legendary Free Ranger as the featured card. So if you do intend to go that route and you're going to try to complete the set or just get some base albums, etc., go ahead and pick up both of these starter kits. That way you'll have all these special cards, and again, one should have Legendary Zulu looking at you, the other will have Legendary Free Ranger. So somehow I thought to do that. What I want to do first, though, here is his card. We're going to cover the stats in a second. Again, note that those are blue. I'm thinking they may be like that in the game, which would be really cool. Behind there, we have his sticker sheet. Got the name, note Legendary Zulu. Again, that is like a black. It's not like a Pop Fizz blue, a Pop Thorn blue, a Gildrunt blue, navy blue. It's like a true black, pretty much. I mean, it's still blue, but like I said, it's at that point that you can just pretty well call it black, and not many will argue with you. QR code down below there is a web code, which you can actually use in your iOS games. I will set that to the side. Legendary Zulu. Again, very nice artwork there. Looks great on the card and the cover of the box. Power, 70 of 200. Armor, 105 of 200. Agility, 30 of 200. Luck, 120 of 200. Add all that up and we have 100, 200, 300, 325, I believe. And right here you can already see a difference. Power, +5 for Legendary. armor plus 10 for legendary, agility and luck being the same. So there you go, side by side. Again, if you need that in a text format, which is way easier than this and rewinding a video, I'll have that up for you on the blog. You can take that link at the top of the video description. Now, the money shot, if you will. It is legendary Zulu himself. Here he is, again on that Wishfinder book, which, let me grab it. Getting a lot of bonus content in this one. I mentioned right here when I did the little Wishfinder thing, I said, hey, there's something funny. They took, the top end of Washbuckler, which that's understandable. But then the funny thing is, I said that's the bottom end of Legendary Zulu. I've had some people argue that it's not. It's Stink Bomb. I'm going to stick to my guns. That's a Legendary Zulu. There's my proof. That's about as good as it's going to get. It's got the cape hat. It's a pretty good job. Whoever lopped it off and thought it was a swap force, I mean, they did a nice job there. It kind of looks disproportionate, but it is what it is. I think that pretty much clears it up for anyone that doubted. That said, I'm going to set that down now. Again, his regular pose just looks so good. That said, when he's out of the plastic, he doesn't look too bad. Again, it helps if you like gold. I'm not personally a fan of the color. But he's got the nice detail there, kind of the bore on the belt buckle. He's got, the wrappings around the ankle. Really cool detail there, and you can actually feel this. It's textured. I mean, it's almost like a true shoulder strap or something. Got it on both sides, and of course the cape. The cool thing here, it has that same funky textured look as the standard one, but it almost looks metallic with the gold paint. On the staff, you can see here, there is the wolf on this side right above the head. There's the free rangerish chicken eagle bird on that side, and then right over here on the back side just above the cape we actually have the boar. So same detail as the other, again just basically a repaint. Will appear differently in the game. What you want to see, of course, is these two guys side by side. Again, this legendary Zulu is not as bad as I thought he was going to look once he's freed and you kind of get him in proportionate space. That said, this one's awesome, and I just personally have to give it the nod. It's a nice nod to the life element. He's got the life colors, brown, green, very foresty. The eyes, I believe, are the exact same colors. The staff is the same way. Everything's oriented correctly. The bore, there's not like it's not clocked 33 degrees one way or something. So, but again, not too bad on Legendary Zulu. Again, for me personally, he's just very well suited with his standard pose. Again, you can kind of see that textured look I was talking about on the cape. You can see it very clearly there on Legendary Zulu. Legendary Zulu and Zulu, of course, are joined by, as previously mentioned, Bumbleblast. Very cool new lander to the life element. He will have a light core coming. We'll have Thornhorn camo eventually. We've got Ninja Stealth Elf here with the gold blades. Then with the silver or platinum blades on the other side of the portal, we have got Dark Stealth Elf. It's apparently Dark Stealth Elf and not Dark Ninja Stealth Elf. Call her what you will. And then, of course, we've got one of the two life element swappers. This being, of course, Drilla Drilla. The next one will be Stink Bomb. I think we should be seeing him pretty soon, which is great because we've got some sneak areas we need to get into. Zulu slogan is Nature Calls. Descended from a long line of shamans, Zulu traveled far and wide to the 7 strange strongholds, ancient mysterious sites of great wonder in Skylands, where he studied the wisdom and fighting styles of the 7 strange mages. You're starting to see a theme there and some consonants. After many years of traveling and studying, Zulu returned to find an army of trolls had invaded his sacred homeland to mine its natural magic resources. Zulu's warrior heart burned with fury, and having now mastered the enchanted art of communicating with nature and summoning animals, he unleashed his great mojo. Again, if you didn't like Zulu, you should, because he has mojo, and that's what really matters in life. Attacking the trolls and single-handedly freeing his lands once again. It was this heroic feat that caught the eye of who? Not Eon, but Double Trouble. Very nice touch there. Kind of like it when they do that. Who then brought Zulu to master Eon and the Skylanders. Again, pretty cool backstory there. Ties in what's unique about Zulu. He doesn't actually come in. You think he might be like some crazy panda kung fu guy, just bop you on the head with a staff and, choke you. Do karate or martial arts? No. He actually uses the staff, he summons the birds, he summons the wolf, he can summon the boar. That's how he actually attacks you. It's almost like, I think the strategy guide mentions it. He doesn't ever actually really do anything. It's what he conjures up that does the damage to the enemies or opponents in battle mode. So, kind of cool there. Again, the great thing about having a legendary is, if nothing else, Zulu goes down the wild wolf path. Legendary Zulu goes down the buckling boar path. Essentially, if you pick up both of these characters, you can explore both of his paths. So, very cool. That's something I'm always appreciative of. It definitely beats having duplicates of the same figure. You can actually then keep them apart. I truly think that his, conjured allies might actually be blue as opposed to like the jade color of this guy. You can kind of get a feel for that by the staff. So, definitely looking forward to checking that out. I'll try to get him in the portal tonight, maybe after the game and supper, or maybe if the game's a blowout, maybe like third, fourth quarter, after supper. But that's what I'm going to do. I think my dinner is probably done. I do not want to start a fire. That would be a really bad way to spend Monday. But the good news is Legendary Zulu is still in stock, still well stocked in my local Toys R Us. That's likely the case at yours. Some people have said they've been like restricting this thing hardcore, one per person. I don't know. I got two because it was buy one get one 40% off. No one said anything, so it could be they all know me or they, real. I don't know what it is. I didn't have trouble doing it. I don't really know how. I mean, you could go in at different shifts. I mean, it becomes an issue if you're like a collector who just wants one to play with, and then one to keep sealed. Kind of makes you jump through hoops. There's ways to work around it. Again, I think their intent is just where one person can't walk in and clean the shelf of all of them to hawk them on eBay and kind of ruin it for everyone else. But you have to respect that. It just kind of gets to be a problem. So you've got like 2, 3 kids or 5 grandkids, 2 awesome nieces and 2 awesome nephews. It just kind of, you start to kind of get burned out on it. But like I said, at the same time, we'd probably all rather have to deal with that as opposed to realizing that we went to Toys R Us early Sunday, got screwed over because a scalper got there because they have no life, and then get home on eBay and see all the listings in your hometown for Zulu marked up 3 times the retail price. So keep that in mind. But it is $10.99. If for some reason your store does not let you, pick up 2 or something, if you don't have Legendary Lightcore Grim Creeper or Legendary Free Ranger, go ahead, pick those guys up while they're available. Again, once Black Friday hits, who knows what's going to happen. If this follows suit as in the past, you're probably going to have a hard time finding them. It'll become a pain. Get them now while you can, especially while they're on sale. For some reason, your store's out of the other legendaries. The Legendary Triple Pack from Skylanders Giants has resurfaced. Saw that again today. Pumpkin Eyebrow still out there. Anything you're missing from the other games, and of course, big draw would be like Scorp, Riptide. Some of the Wave 2 releases or launch day figures if you're not caught up there. But bottom line, if you're going to get this guy, might as well pick someone else up and get him 40% off. So. But that is that. Again, I got him today, Monday the 4th. He was released yesterday the 3rd. Legendary Night Shift is dropping next Sunday the 10th. After that, we've got their exclusive Dino Ring, which we're going to have to investigate further. $10.99 is the price. Again, take advantage of that sale. And if you go all in, I think they've still got the free Power A Show and Go case. That's a great deal. Good for, something nonetheless. Maybe I'll make a video on the Frito stuff. I don't know. If you're not involved with it, don't get started. It is a complete, can't use the word I had in mind there, but it's just a mess. I'll leave it at that. Luckily, Toys R Us and Legendary Zulu kind of make up for some of that. So, like I said, I'm interested in seeing if his conjured stuff is actually blue, so I'm going to check that out tonight, regardless of what time it is. Chase McCain is hidden. Be sure to find him if you do post up. Questions, comments, you can ask here on YouTube. Quicker response, again, I suggest you take that link at the top of the video description box. It'll take you straight to a post related to no one other than Legendary Zulu. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Make sure you're subscribed. That way, should something crazy happen tomorrow, I run out and get something, you'll be the first to know. As Zulu would say, nature calls, and as I'm going to tell you, dinner calls, because I actually heard the oven buzz about 3-4 minutes ago, so I'm going to go get that out before we have a fire alarm sounding. So I'll leave it at that, but again, thanks for watching, and we will catch you next time.